Hi, welcome to Reawakening Beauty. I'm your host, Shawna Patruno. I'm so excited to have you here. I love talking about all things skin related, beauty related, and mind related. Here I empower you, mind, body, skin, and soul. Hi, welcome to Reawakening Beauty. My name is Shawna Patruno, and today I'm going to be talking about some things in skincare that I think that so many people don't understand. The constant questions that I'm getting all the time from my clients coming in, and things that I really think are important. So I'm going to talk about 5 of them that I wish people would know so they can prevent injuring their skin when starting a skincare routine. One of them being is that if you're using retinol, you have to use a sunscreen. I cannot preface that enough. A lot of people come in because they've seen retinol on TikTok, or I'm working with them and they don't even know why they're buying retinol. They think, oh, it's going to help with my acne, it's going to help with this. But retinol is such a powerful ingredient. What it does is it helps with your cell turnover. So it's very different than an exfoliant. It helps speed up your cells from turning over. But with that, your skin is being renewed at a rapid rate. So if you are younger and you're not using sunscreen, you're not protecting those new cells. So if you are using a retinol, you have to use sunscreen. That's number one. And if you can't afford retinol and a sunscreen, I would say shelf the retinol and then get the sunscreen. Like that would be like number one for sure. Number two, I think something that I don't know a lot of people, if they know about this, is that vitamin C, it's not a stable ingredient. So there's different forms of vitamin C. And sometimes if you are more acne prone and you're using something that's not stabilized, it can cause more breakouts. So a lot of people will want to use vitamin C because it brightens the skin and it tightens and it produces collagen, but it also helps with dark spots. It's such a wonderful ingredient, but you have to find the right one for your skin type. There's different ones. So just grabbing the most affordable one sometimes doesn't mean like it's encapsulated, it's not time released, and it's not stabilized. So I think invest in a proper vitamin C. But with that being said, if you are using vitamin C, it can make you a little bit more photosensitive. So sunscreen with the vitamin C is highly important. Like you can't pick one or the other. You have to do them together. So that's something that I think is highly, highly, highly important. Number 3 is that if you're using sunscreen, you have to use like a cleanser to remove your sunscreen. You should be doing a double cleanse. A lot of acneic type people who are experiencing breakouts, even if you're not acneic or you've had an issue or skin condition like I have had in the past, it's all better because I took care of it with my nutrition and learned how to take care of it with proper products. You have to remove it with an oil-based cleanser. So what a sunscreen, I particularly like using a physical one. So a physical one creates a barrier on the skin. If you're not removing that barrier with like an oil-based cleanser or something that's designed to take off your sunscreen, it is going to stay there, creating a physical barrier. And what a breakout is trapped in oil. And over time, that will cause breakouts because that buildup is creating trapped dirt in oil, essentially. So it's so important that if you are using a sunscreen, so that takes me back to my prior thing. If you're going to get a retinol, you're going to have to get a sunscreen, and that means you're going to have to get a cleanser. And I don't think a lot of people know that. So it turns out to a very expensive routine, but if you're really trying to do corrective or preventative, you really have to have all the steps. You can't cheat the system. Number 4 that I would think that a lot of people miss, and this is something that I've talked about on one of my past podcasts or something that I put up, is following the instructions on your products. They're there for a reason. There's so many times I've seen certain products, it says leave on for 5 minutes and then you have to rinse off. And then someone's like, no, I have acne, I'm going to leave it on longer. No, there's a reason why the timestamps are on those products. Do not leave your products on longer. It does not make it more effective. It is more damaging. Same thing going back to retinol. You should be starting using it once a week. You should not be going into it. So follow the instructions on your product. Read the instructions. Read the labels when your product expires. Read all of that. And another thing that I think that people don't realize, and why you should be working with someone who has a background in skincare, and this is something that I didn't know, and I'm happy to share this with you, is that certain ingredients cannot be used with other ingredients. You can create a chemical reaction. And I think so many people don't understand that. And like they're using a salicylic and a retinol. And yes, you can use sometimes those ingredients together. There's products that have those in them, but they've been formulated to have that in it. But if you use certain ingredients together, you can counterindicate things and create chemical reactions that are breaking down your skin barrier. And when you don't have a good skin barrier, you can end up with forms of dermatitis, rosacea, acne, all these other skin conditions that you're trying to do good for your skin, and you end up harming your skin. So I would say that those are some things that I think that I don't hear on TikTok. I always hear get retinol, get vitamin C, like sunscreen, but do you know why you're doing it? And I think that's why working with somebody who understands the different cycles of the skin, understands different products, how they work together, that they're not just trying to sell you something. Like so often I will actually have clients come in and I'll actually take stuff away from them, or some of my clients that I work with on the regular basis. I look at their diet and I'm like, hey, this is probably not even you've tried so many products, you've got the good products, but we got to dig a little deeper. So I think I might do another 5 things that I think are missed in the skincare industry, because I think that these are things that need to be talked about. So I hope you got some value from this podcast today. And if you guys would like to see more stuff on my YouTube or my different platforms, I have a ton of different platforms. You can follow me. You can actually head to my blog as well, where I have a ton of recipes that I'm constantly creating. And if you ever want to work with me directly, you can just shoot me a DM and I would be happy to kind of share the knowledge that I so much love passing on to other people to keep your skin beautiful and step into like preventative skincare or corrective, whatever you are on your journey. All right, my loves, talk to you all soon. And I think that's it. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for listening to the latest episode of Reawakening Beauty. Subscribe to the podcast, hear more inspirational stories and tips related to all things mind, beauty, skin, and soul. I also encourage you to check out the show notes for additional information about my guest, the topics discussed during the episode, and of course, more information about me, your host, Shawna Patruno. If you want to be a guest on the show or just want to reach out and say hi, you can reach me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or email. All these details can be found in my show notes. Thank you so much for listening and have an amazing day.